Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another movie review. Now, this one is for Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now, I just got back from watching Bad Boys Ride or Die, and with this fourth entry in the Bad Boys franchise, we follow Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett on a personal mission to clear the name of the old captain who has been framed as part of a larger drug operation. Now, when it comes to the Bad Boys franchise, I enjoy these movies a lot. I mean, you pretty much know the style and tone and what you're going to get before you go and see this movie, especially if you've seen the trailers and the previous one. The first two movies were directed by Michael Bay, so you know the main ham of those movies, Michael Bay especially. Now, going into Bad Boys Ride or Die, I just want to be entertained by Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and give me a story I could at least follow and have some excitement with. And let me tell you, this movie delivers on that and more, thanks to the incredible directing duo of the last movie, Bad Boys for Life. Now, don't get me wrong, Bad Boys Ride or Die is not a masterpiece. This is not the ultimate action movie. It's got its fair share of flaws. But at the end of the day, you're going into this movie to be entertained, and it does that. Starting off here with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, these are the guys you're really going to see the movie for. And it's undeniable the chemistry they have and just the jokes they spit out every time they're on screen together. I was dying even with them getting older and maybe not being able to run as fast, punch as hard. The jokes at least doesn't seem to slow down. And heck, I was even impressed this time around. They wanted to do something a little different with the Bad Boys franchise. And for the past three movies, you could pretty much say they were hot shots. They were still these arrogant cops. They kind of wanted to do things in a very brutal, explosive way, blowing up cars, destroying the streets of Miami, and then just fist bumping at the end of the day, like they just didn't cost city millions of dollars in property damage. Here, they took kind of a different approach, and I actually dealt a little bit with the mortality of Mike and Marcus. And Marcus in this movie is dealing with health concerns that he's got on to get on track, and I think it does lead to some funny stuff with him. And Will Smith is giving issue of his own, where he's dealing with panic attacks in this movie. I know it doesn't sound like the craziest fun stuff you want from a Bad Boys movie, but I'm glad the movies are finally showing the aging and the evolving. Although Will Smith looks absolutely fantastic for 50 years old, I really do like the movie attempt to tackle that kind of stuff. The next biggest compliment I can give to this movie is the directing duo. Man, these guys needs to be given more action films because they were having a blast. There was definitely big shoes that needed to be filled in when you got let go of Michael Bay directing this movie and you brought in someone else. It's undeniable Michael Bay has like a very specific look, and I thought in the third film this directing duo actually try emulating some Michael Bay in there while throwing a little bit of their own stuff. Now coming off to this movie Ride or Die, it is much more of their flavor with a little bit of Michael Bay. they get extremely creative, wild, and stylized with some of the things they do in here. You might already seen this behind the scene video of Will Smith, and you kind of get a Call of Duty shot where you get a first person POV of Mike Lowry just taking down a bunch of criminals, and this movie is filled with cool scenes like that. There's a lot of awesome drone shots, some hand to hand fight scenes. Some of the creative stuff works better than others, but at the end of the day, I'm liking that they are trying to do something new visually here, because it was just not pertaining to the action scenes. Only in the movie they do some kind of new spiritual things they haven't done with the Bad Boys before, and that felt like a little bit of a leap for the franchise. But honestly, a lot of the action scenes here feel like a leap for the franchise. The last thing on the directors, there's no way Bad Girl was going to be a bad movie. They just have so much creative sauce, and two, I hope the rumors are true. They are directing Spider-Man 4, cause I love to see the swinging scenes. Now, moving on from there, another big surprise of this movie I was not expecting were the moments where the side characters actually got to shine in this film. You know, I started to sense that they were trying to turn the Bad Boys franchise a little bit into the Fast and the Furious universe. It feels like they're building their own little family, and a group of people. And yes, you have returning characters from the last movie, like Mike Lowry long lost son, Armando. Vanessa Hudgens is in here too as Kelly, and a lot of those side characters are giving real highlight moments. They actually got me thirsty to clap in the theater. Now, Armando is giving a really awesome person fight scene that I thought was cool. Rhea Seehorn, who I know from Better Call Saul, she's giving a small emotional arc in here that it was done really nice. But all of these side characters, you will not be ready for the return of Reggie. If you are a Bad Boy fan, if you are a Bad Boys fan through and through, and if you follow this franchise from the beginning and you know who Reggie is, he might be very well be the secret MVP of this movie. Because the sequence he got in this film was the loudest my theater clap during the Bad Boys Ride or Die. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. But it's not for the reasons you are expecting. And now, before I get to my negatives, I want to say it's a really entertaining film. I still have a blast watching this film, and this directing team matched the level of Michael Bay Manhunt on screen while still visually being able to bring something new. Keep the jokes up, action is entertaining, and if you are a fan of this franchise, it's delivering what you expecting from it. Now, getting on to some of my negatives here, I do think there are a lot of story and script issues. It was a very slow at first, and the pacing felt kind of odd. I really think that it took me like 20 minutes before I finally got into the story and things they are doing here. Because I also think the villain of the film was just not all that great. He's a menacing dude and does evil things, but it felt a lot more like the villains in the first two Bad Boy movies as opposed to the villains in the last movie that actually felt like it had a more bigger personal connection to the characters. Although the Bad Boys movies have been known for exaggerated crazy action, I would say that this one jumps the shark. While they're definitely not going into space or anything like that, this is the one when you're going to have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, and you know something that is going to go 50-50 with audiences. You're either going to have fun with it or you're going to roll your eyes and be annoyed. It's up to you. There's a lot of cameos in this movie, and one giant meta reference to a certain controversy. And the cameos, I don't even know if you're expecting them, man. It literally range from popular musicians and popular TikTokers and stuff like that. And I know it will probably annoy some people, but it was so small and so insignificant. There were times that actually just made me laugh. But that will come down to your personal preference or how you feel about it. Now, I will say that I actually think this one is the best so far. I just watched the film, but I think that of all the four Bad Boys film, I think this one is the one that I enjoy more. I think this one, I had the most fun and entertaining time watching it. So I highly recommend you go and see it, especially now in theaters. So, and it's great to see the Will Smith and Martin Lawrence again. I mean, their chemistry is just so perfect, so insane. You just love to hang out with these guys. So that's my review for Bad Boys Ride or Die. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.